Hello, friends. I am Sarabjit Singh. Today, I will be talking about identifying the value proposition. This is a three-step process as shown here. I'll show this in the various sections. These are the three steps of the process. First, identify the key stakeholders, then create customer profiles, and finally, create the value map and set goals. Weiner and Osterwilder made this great book, Value Proposition Design, a worldwide success, and all great startups started by using this book as the base. The business model canvas is fitted with this value proposition design. First, customer profiles are loaded in the business models customer segment. Then the value maps and goal setting box is fitted in the value propositions box. Then only is the rest of the business model canvas created. Step 1 is followed by step 2. First, we identify the key stakeholders, then create customer profiles. Let us identify the key stakeholders. This is the pre-COVID approach, which is no longer followed. In the post-COVID approach, we do a complete reversal. Firstly, we say that all ideas are not equal and not worth building or testing. So what do is that we start with the markets, then market needs, strategies, and tactics, and these lead to ideas. Let's see what we do with the ideas. So start with the ideas related to the selected niche market. Then we follow this right approach by creating ideas and using them summarized as a problem statement. After we have got the problem statement, we go to the next step, which is to identify key stakeholders. We use both these boxes, problem statement and identified key stakeholders, to create customer profiles. So in the post-COVID era, we no longer look at small businesses and small startups. We look worldwide and niche markets to develop therein. So markets have to be big, growing, and have a pull and are scalable to create exponential growth startups. So first we find the problem, and this leads to the solution. And we look for real and interesting problems. And these come from targeted customers, people and companies, and then from online searches. And then we find and or design best solutions, ideas based on these problems. So how do we identify future big ideas? Look at post-COVID-19 mega trends, technology, society, business, environment, and lots more are there. Then imagine 2030 scenario related to these mega trends. Why do we look so far ahead? Is because 2030 may even happen much faster than 2030. Within 2 years, we may be at a stage where we would have been in 2030 in the pre-COVID era. Then develop business ideas based on impact of new technologies. These new technologies are digital transformation at a high speed, artificial intelligence now at amazing growth stage, then data economy, platform economy, API economy, my data, and more. Now, industry disruption is how an industry X would look if built with post-COVID tools. Here, we break the current service model into pieces, reassemble these using post-COVID-19 technologies, models, and processes, and then combine additional components which create high value for the customer while removing low value add and outdated parts. Airbnb how it will look. We will give a case study of what it looks today, and you can yourself create a new model of how it will look when we use all these new technologies. First, what's happening in the post-COVID world is that the co-founders look at ideas. Now, these ideas are not the original idea which the founder first found. These are ideas developed from the market, and there's a reiteration of these ideas till you finalize and distill the idea. This is how it works. Now, see on the left side, problems of niche markets are identified by looking at the final ideas that have been distilled. Now, the needs of the customer are created based on this problem statement. Then what we do is that we create strategies and tactics to help the customer solve his problems. Finally, the ideas are seen as a redistilled problem statement, and we look at it and refine it again and again every 2-3 months to continuously improve our startup. Now, let us look at idea development. First, what are the key creators for this business idea development? The platform itself. Platform can be an EV range of vehicles, business model features, and go-to-market ways of the customer and the startup. Now, then we examine ideas one at a time. Say, for instance, we look at an EV. The EV has some artificial intelligence built into it. We'll see how we can build artificial intelligence in a more uniform manner across everything that is in the EV. So EV is the trigger, and we examine one idea at a time. Here we have taken artificial intelligence as the idea to examine. Then this criteria of artificial intelligence as in the EV is seen as what are the outcomes of using this more widely within the autonomous EV. This gives us the cost, effort, and risks involved in developing the EV platform into something really big and substantial to, serve our customers worldwide. So the whole thing is to find the niche and distill ideas through iterations and uniquely serve a niche market. And again, I'll say that we start with the markets and I go to ideas and do this iteration again and again. So let us see how to create customer profiles. We achieve a fit in creating customer profiles. So we see what does the customer want and why he wants it. Why does the customer want what he wants, and what we can do to fulfill his requirements through our products. So the customer has a job to do. In fact, a job has supplementary jobs involved in it. So a job may have functional aspect to it, but it also has an emotional aspect to the job. And then there are the basic needs and social linkages to the job. So all these are considered. Now, in Airbnb case, we look at what Airbnb is trying to do in getting a traveler to connect with a host and go and stay in his home and enjoy a stay and local flavor and learn all about the things that he wants during his visit. And both together are helped through trust and safety that Airbnb creates for the customer. It's a holistic approach. Not only this, Airbnb also handles the total money package for you. You don't have to give the money to the host. When you go and stay with the host after 1 day stay, the host receives the full money for the package that you have come up with. So you don't handle the money. and there can be no dispute or loss of money. So Airbnb is giving a solution to the customer, and then it is looking at it in a different way of showing how do you interact with each other. What are the questions you ask each other? How do you get feedback and things like that about the whole package and the host and the guest himself. Then we look at customer pains. So customer pains are, what customer feels, why he's not able to achieve the jobs that he wants. What are the barriers? What are the costs? What bad feelings? What the difficulties, risks are there in getting the job done? So these are the pains. And Airbnb also has, various ways to alleviate these pains, like, dealing with guest damage. If a guest inadvertently damages something, or there's a fire due to the guest, the whole thing will be looked after by Airbnb. The guest will not be charged for it, neither will the host lose anything. And there is trust and safety built into the whole relationship by Airbnb. So when you deal with each other as host and as guest, there is shyness, and we overcome the shyness. We learn how to talk in one voice, see each other's ways and things like that. So this is how pains are relieved. Then how do customer gains happen? So we measure this, how this happens. And first we see what are the expectations and what were the delights that were created when overcoming pains, and what were the savings, what makes life easier because of doing the job after removing gains. And these are the customer gains. So Airbnb does a lot to handle this through various things, but helping the guest and the host connect as a part of the community, and within the community give them choice, price, experience locally, and things like that. So again, when you show up, know what are the others' opinions about various things in their area, and you can discuss what's happening in your area and their area, and connect as a world. You overcome shyness, you talk with one voice, and there's no question of somebody spamming you with false claims. Now, third is creating the value map and setting up goals. We create the value map by transferring values into requirements, and these lead to the value map. Now, let's see how value proposition is validated. We offer a complete package to the customer. This package includes tangible and intangible things the customer wants. A business model canvas is created through design, test, and building your company's value proposition in a more structured way. Without the value proposition design, this highly structured way was not previously available. So we have customer jobs to be done, pains removed, gains achieved, and these are achieved through pain relievers seen in the business proposition, value proposition. The gain creators are there, and the products we supply them. So all these working together create the value proposition design. So products and services that are offered in the value proposition case are, you have a list of products that you offer to give the customer the gains he wants, and you see which ones of these really help to get the job done, which are crucial and which are trivial. Ultimately, you want to remove the trivial part of it. In Airbnb, they look at, temporary social media app that is created for the customer, the traveler, And in this app, everything is given to him to deal with all that he wants to achieve when he goes to the host and stays in his house. Now, pain relievers that are there are addressing the pains that are seen by the customer, and we see how these pains are relieved. In Airbnb case, you look at community marketplace for unique space, and the traveler, when he sees this unique space, he gets a much better experience than earlier. So again, there are various other things. They address various things to relieve the pain. So one thing that Airbnb is doing is that it covers the host with $1 million guarantee of any loss caused due to the guest. Suppose due to the guest, the house burns down, for instance. The guest will not have to pay anything. He'll just go away. It's not his fault. It's an accident. So without the host also paying anything, Airbnb covers him. It is within the package. The guest is not paying, nor is the host paying. So these are some of the things that really create great experience. Even now, Airbnb is doing this. So when you show up, you you get various things in this area in Airbnb. So there is anonymity, for instance. You stay anonymous to everybody else, excepting the host, and this is an interaction between you and the host. And the whole arrangement is temporary, and there you see various ratings. You also give rating on how good the experience was, so that other people's benefit. So the gain creators are how gains are created for the customer. And here Airbnb has got this Airbnb TV and then community marketplace for unique space, profile and reviews and things like that, meetups and incentive policies and things like that. So these are the gains that you get by staying with Airbnb. Then when you show up, you get various things as shown here. Shared messaging, then temporary social media ratings, anonymity, same thing. Some things are repeated in before you show up and after you show up. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen and friends. We will talk again next time about more of the same.